All right, let's get right into it. You know, we've all heard it a million times. Eat your carrots for good eyesight. But what if the real secret, the actual power to repair your vision, comes from something way, way smaller? Today, we're talking about the incredible science behind 6 everyday seeds and how they can tackle the very root of age-related vision decline. And stick with me, because one of these, well, it's in a league of its own.
And this quote, it just hits you, right? Because it's true. It isn't this gentle, slow fade. For so many people, it feels like falling off a cliff. One minute you're fine. The next, you're squinting at your phone, struggling to read a street sign. It happens fast. What the research shows is that this loss is happening rapidly. And by the time you're really noticing that blurriness, you could have already lost a huge chunk of your eye's natural protection.
So what's this molecule we're losing so fast? It's right here, glutathione. You really need to know this word. Think of it as your eye's own internal security guard. It's master antioxidant. When you start running low on glutathione, the proteins in the lens of your eyes start clumping up, they get hard, they get cloudy, and that's not just about needing a new prescription. No, that's the physical structure of your eye breaking down. But here's the amazing part. The science we're looking at says this is not inevitable. It's a deficiency, and deficiencies can be corrected.
So how do we correct it? We're going to do a countdown. We're ranking 6 different seeds, starting from the one that helps the least all the way up to the most powerful. And there's a reason we're starting at the bottom. The lessons we learn with these first couple of seeds are absolutely essential to understanding why the ones at the top of our list are so unbelievably effective. Okay, let's kick off the countdown. Coming in at number 6, sesame seeds. Yeah, they're on all the health lists. They've got good stuff like zinc and copper. But, and this is a big but, they are packed with something called phytic acid. It's an anti-nutrient that literally blocks your body from absorbing up to 40% of the zinc. So you're not getting what you paid for. The fix is super easy. Just a 3-minute dry roast in a pan that breaks down the phytic acid. But even with that fix, their overall impact is pretty small. It's a start, but it's not the answer. All right, moving up the ladder to number 5. Pumpkin seeds. On paper, these things are rock stars, loaded with lutein, zeaxanthin, zinc, all the good stuff. But they have the exact same problem as sesame seeds, only it's even worse. They have even more phytic acid. So when you eat them raw out of the bag, you're missing out on a huge portion of the benefits. And this right here is the key takeaway. Preparation changes everything. The simple fix? Just soak them overnight in some water with a little squeeze of fresh lemon juice. That simple step unlocks all those nutrients, making them available for your eyes to actually use. Okay, we've laid the groundwork. We know that how you prepare your food is just as important as what you eat. Now we're getting into the big leagues, the top 4. This is where we stop talking about just protecting your eyes and start talking about real, significant, noticeable repair.
So, kicking off our top 4. At number 4, we have a seed that I am honestly shocked more people aren't talking about.
Hemp seeds. The magic of hemp seeds is all about balance. Your eyes need a very specific ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fats. Most of us get way too much omega-6, which creates inflammation. Well, hemp seeds have a naturally perfect 3-to-1 ratio. The data shows this can knock down eye inflammation by over 30% in about 6 weeks. And you know what the best part is? There's no special prep. No soaking, no grinding, you just eat them. They are so easy and so powerful, making them a fantastic choice. All right, for our number 3 and number 2 spots, we've got a powerhouse duo, ground chia and ground flax. They work in a very similar way, and they're both so important that we're going to tackle them together.
Okay, listen up because this is crucial. Both of these are loaded with an omega-3 called ALA, which is a building block for your retina. But there are 2 rules that are completely non-negotiable. First, you have to grind them fresh. If you eat them whole, they just pass right through you, useless. Second, you absolutely must eat them with a fat to absorb those omega-3s. For chia, coconut oil works great, but for flax, which is the single highest plant source of omega-3 on the planet, if you pair it with avocado, you increase your absorption by 300%. That's not a typo. 300%. That takes it from being just a food to a full-blown therapeutic tool. So we've seen that preparation matters. We've seen that pairing foods matters. But our number 1 protocol, it takes all of these principles and combines them into a unique 3-part system that nothing else can touch. And so the undisputed number 1 seed for repairing your eyes, based on all the signs we've looked at, it's this exact combination: raw sunflower seeds with avocado and fresh lemon juice. And I need you to hear me on this. The phrase "with" is the entire secret. They have to be eaten together. It's not a suggestion, it's the whole mechanism.
This is why it works. It's so simple. It's brilliant. Step 1. The sunflower seeds deliver a huge dose of vitamin E. That's the antioxidant that puts a stop to damage in your lens. Step 2. Vitamin E needs fat to be absorbed, and the avocado provides the perfect kind of fat to unlock 100% of it for your eyes. And then step 3. This is the genius part. The vitamin C in the lemon juice actually recycles the vitamin E after it does its job, letting it go back to work again and again. You see? You're not just taking an antioxidant, you're creating a self-renewing protective shield inside your eye.
Okay, knowing the science is great, but it's useless if you don't act on it. So let's get practical. Let's talk about the exact daily plan to put all this amazing science to work for you.
Here it is. This is your foundation, and it's non-negotiable. Every morning, 1 ounce of raw sunflower seeds, about 1/4 of an avocado, and the juice from half a lemon. And remember, they have to be eaten at the same time for that magic to happen. If you want to give it an extra boost, you can throw in 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds or some ground chia with coconut oil later in the afternoon.
So what should you actually expect? Well, you'll probably feel some things pretty fast. Less dryness in a few days, maybe. In a couple of weeks, you might notice that reading your phone feels a little easier. But you have to understand, true structural repair, the kind your eye doctor can actually see and measure, that takes time. You're looking at about 90 days of doing this every single day. You just can't rush biology. And to make sure you actually get those results, you have to avoid these protocol killers. Don't drink coffee or tea within 2 hours of this meal. It'll block absorption. Don't use roasted or pre-ground seeds. The nutrients are already gone. Don't expect a miracle in a week and then quit. And don't eat this at night. You'll miss the peak absorption window in the morning. Any one of these things can silently sabotage all of your effort. Look, I can talk about this science all day long, but the only way you're really going to believe in it is if you experience it for yourself. So, we're going to end with a challenge, a simple 30-day challenge so you can prove it to yourself. Here's what I want you to do. Commit to that sunflower seed, avocado, and lemon protocol every morning for just 30 days. That's it. But before you start, day 1, get out a pen and paper. Write down every single thing that bothers you about your vision. The blur, the glare, the floaters, whatever. And rate each one from 1 to 10. Put that paper away. On day 30, do it again, and then compare the 2 lists. I think you're going to be blown away. And I'll just leave you with this one last question to think about. This isn't some crazy new discovery. Your great-grandparents, they ate sunflower seeds from the garden. They ground their own flax. They ate real whole foods with healthy fats. It wasn't a special diet. It was just lunch. We've somehow forgotten this simple, powerful wisdom. And maybe, just maybe, the answer to fixing our modern problems is hiding right there in the past.